Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. So, how is everyone doing today? Good morning, Sashi. Good morning, Wavy. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Davey. Bagged 10 points. Does that mean you bagged 10 points in what? S&P, NASDAQ? What were you trading? Lauren, morning. Christoph, good morning. Thank you for being here. Really do appreciate it. And thank you for everyone not only tuning in on the multiple YouTube streams, but on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Share Vision. And whatever platform you are on, please do consider subscribing on that platform. And if you're on YouTube, please ring that bell and hit that like button. Longer term viewers, please come back, like the videos, and leave some comments. As long as I said something that you did like. If I said something that you didn't like, then give me a thumbs down and leave a comment too. Sterling, good morning. Good morning, Ahmet. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Sorry, running a little bit behind. When it's just me with the 5 dogs, it does get challenging in the morning. But we will get everything taken care of. By the way, let's see where we sit. We had some earnings coming out. I know Lockheed Martin missed. Let's see. Really, you had your housing stuff coming out this morning. A little stronger than forecast. So housing again, that's from March. Housing not taking a dive yet. Still at least strong through March. We're gonna have to see longer term how the mortgage rates affect that. I'm really keying off of what Evans says at 11:05 Central, 12:05 Eastern. Historically very dovish, but turned the corner starting a couple months ago to much more hawkish. And we had the Fed speak yesterday, talking, base case is not 75 basis points, but could be considered. And then who asked that about what a full 100 basis point hike yesterday? I'm not seeing that. That would really shock the markets. 75 would even be shocking to the markets, but it's getting more and more likely it could happen at some point if inflation doesn't uh, ease up at all. And it's not looking like, with every input I follow, it's not going to ease up anytime soon. 91% probability of that 50 basis point hike in May. Remember, that's still a couple weeks off. We're still in negative gamma mode, so keep that in mind. Rallies and sell-offs will be amplified. Again, it has not been able to hold stuff overnight. It was pretty choppy overnight. You can see here some of this overnight price action just back and forth, back and forth. I updated the levels from the live stream yesterday. Again, with this little pullback, look at the 62.5%. Right here, that's what I'm really focusing on intraday, to see if that really holds on at least a 1 hour closing basis. If we really start breaking down, though, that would not be strong. We're set up for the potential bounce, and if this is all it could get, that's, in the long term, systems still say very, very bearish. Nothing has changed with that, but it's just the timing of things. And if we start breaking down, not good at all. Again, very choppy price action. I can't get into bullish mode until we really start getting back above about 44.04, 44.05 puts me in bullish mode. Let me see if I have to adjust my microphone at all. So that's where I'm watching to get to bullish mode. Updated the levels, so then I'd be going 44.11, 44.18, 44.24. But I'd also be watching it's about 44.21 to 44.24 to the downside. We might actually, let me check something right here. That actually could qualify for a potential double. I don't know. If it sells down much more, it probably won't. But this is the move that started, and that would be a retest of the high. So I will be watching that going into the open. It's right on the verge of that right now. those start breaking down with momentum about 43.75, 43.76, and I'll start watching for a retest of yesterday's lows. We break yesterday's lows, 44.43.50. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's your next major level, and here's where a great area to use your reverse harmonics. Reverse harmonics, minor would be 43.48. Major then 43.43.50 to 43.41.75. I'd start watching for any reversal patterns there. Let's just check the rotation zone. So you see 4-hour rotation zone cannot get above it. So once we also get above that 12.5 retracement level for any bull case, that puts it back above the 4-hour rotation zone. So those are the two key levels I'm watching besides that little mini potential double. Camera's fuzzy. Thank you. Let me try to fix that. Oh, why? Let's see here. Let me try to do this. Camera is fuzzy. What is going on with the second camera here? Let me see. Something's up with that. See, let me just try to fix this real quick. Sometimes the autofocus settings go a little haywire. All right, let's try that for now. That's going to be the best it can be. Thank you for letting me know. So that's where we sit with the S&P. NASDAQ, again, also update the levels. I watched the 62 retracement from the lows yesterday to the overnight highs or end of market, yes, for the NASDAQ highs. Key level I'm focusing on that is about 13,840. 13,840. Also, that might be another little potential double. And these are just what I would be watching off the opens. Not fully there, but if we do trigger this, I just watch for a return to the highs then. So that's why I'll keep this on here, but the second and third target are out of the move that started it, so it's technically not feasible, but I just watch if we break above this, return to the highs from yesterday, then 14.55, then 14.90. We start breaking below about 13.838. Why do I have multiples here? Let me see. Let me just change a setting here. All right, below 13,838, then I'm targeting about 13,800, then I'm going to the most recent lows. From the most recent lows, I'm going to update this with this rally right now because it's just too close and we bounced right in front of it. But then I would use the reverse harmonics again for my breakdown levels should we break yesterday's lows. And that again gets into bearish 13,693, 13,657. Major level is 13,357. Keep in mind the 62.5% level from the, let me get to the daily real quick. This key level right in here, this purple line that's sort of obscured right now. We close below that today, then I get in very bearish short-term mode and very bearish long-term mode, especially short-term for a retest of the lows. Again, falling down with the rotation zone. If we do break above the spike, then the next critical area would be about essentially 14,000 again. Then above there, I'd start targeting the higher price action. This area really needs to hold. Remember, 50 to 62.5% pullback area from this little run up really needs to hold, or the market turns into, at least NASDAQ turns into Mr. Yuck. Don't want to be bullish if that happens. Dow, inside day so far, not much going on with the Dow. I'm taking this off for right now. Breakdown area. Actually, breakdown area right here. About 34,258 breakout area, 34,455. That's how I'm going to be trading the Dow this morning. Breakdown, breakout, breakout. See, you're still in this chop, this horizontal channel mess. So if we break out above 34,455, I'm targeting 34,610. We break down below 34,260, 258. I'm targeting 34,84. Russell, not much going on. Still caught inside day so far. So resistance is 2005. Support is 1980. If we break below 1980, I'm going back 1941. And that's not just for today. That's overall. I'll be watching for the pullback we get above 2005, 2006. I'm going to 2026. DAX, again, stalled in this sideways correction area. It's a step down. So you had this prior consolidation, break from that, back into consolidation, break lower, and now it's formed a new consolidation base. Can't get bullish on the DAX until it gets above 14,300. And we'll get bearish below 14,000. Then I will target 13,900, 13,760 area, and 13,635. Crude, little pullback today. Cycles topping, so I'm watching for, again, a short-term pullback, but it's in consolidation mode. Breaking down from this, not really a head and shoulders, but just this is a divergence top. So push higher high that could not get to the next harmonic here, which actually had to be updated right here. You see, could not get to that next harmonic and rolling down. So where am I watching for a return to is let's see, we're just in this huge consolidation pattern. I will watch for about 102.35, and then below that would be a return to about 100 to 98.60 for a bounce. Gold pulling back after a move up, and again, this is why spiking through the harmonic and reversing and coming back down, trying to hold this support right now. But this, again, why it's traded around the core position, just back and forth. We're not in breakout mode yet. Sucks people in and then reverses. This is pretty key. If it does break below that, I wouldn't be watching for anything until it gets back to 1940. Silver also pulling back. It did get the close just above that 62.5, but pulling back. I'm watching for silver to remain slightly stronger than gold. My key level, if we do break below this 25.77, would be back to 25.36. Notes, again, we had the potential double. Still in play, by the way, but remember, yesterday we went below 62.5, or the day before, and then yesterday testing the lows and now breaking down. 118.28 is the next key support. So that's nothing going on. If we did have a strong reversal, there might be an aggressive buy above today's high, but nothing else going on with that in the short term. Dollar index pushing next key areas 101.08 to 101.15. And the VIX, still not a lot of fear. I'm still watching that 25 level. Or if we get back below 21 on a closing basis, that reiterates the short-term bull case. But if right now it's just going to be based off the daily breakout pattern. Tesla, let's see here. Again, earnings tomorrow after the close. The only plays for me are breakout above about 102. 1022.30 or breakdown below about 973. That's all I'm looking at based off earnings coming out, and we're just in this horizontal sideways channel. If you want to do the price levels for that, you're going to go off the bodies and you're going to use the same targets. So what's interesting, if you do break out 1046 stop raise 1058.37, and then 1070, and that takes you into almost then the gap fill play. A breakdown would just be the reverse. Again, you want to play it off the candle bodies, and that reinforces your harmonic level. at 950.86, 950.74, and then major, look at this other harmonic and your horizontal channel play, 927 to about 928 is your next major target. So there's your targets, the upside and downside. Be very wary, though, if it breaks out one way and then has a sharp reversal, there might be, with earnings going on tomorrow, it might be turning into a shake and bake play. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't see that comment. Tesla tomorrow after, yeah, on 420, of course. So that's your plays on Tesla to watch for. Again, based off of this, from my perspective, you have to be nimble with Tesla with earnings tomorrow. Oil long-term buy. Oil, Sashi, I started getting long-term bullish on a close back above 116.50. That's when I start getting long-term bullish. Otherwise, remember, oil makes runs and then consolidates. So we made the run, and then we got the blow off top with the war, and now we're making a consolidation at a higher level. So last time consolidations were down around the 65, 70 area. Now we've shifted consolidations between about 94 to 112, 114. And it's getting a little tighter in here. I will get longer term bullish, though, if we close above that 62.5% harmonic. Otherwise, I'm more in consolidation mode with short little runs up and down. U.S. bouncing housing census. Thank you for posting that. NVR, please. NVR, yeah, housing came in a slightly still bullish NVR. That was very old from there. When's earnings on NVR? The 21st, so in a couple days. And you can't trade that as anything. Let's just see. I'm just looking at... I really don't have much. It would be a very short-term play on a close above today's high. But going into earnings, that would only be a short-term play for a pop to test the rotation zone. Your longer term, if you break down, you did have this little double that was confirmed but never triggered with this down close. But now it's turned into a triple, which again slightly favors the continuation pattern lower. And it can't get out of the way of that 1 hour rotation zone. So this is just going to be an earnings play, and I have no idea on those earnings. So just trying to see what the key levels are here. I mean, your major support comes in if it does break down about 41.56, and your major resistance is 4,500. Between this area, though, I don't have anything. It would just be a gamble for me. Again, your major resistance, not only is it the rotation zone on the daily, you see this key, you had this key gap open. So you had this key support becoming resistance area. I'm just got to look at the bigger term prospects too. You are against the daily rotation zone. You're against the weekly rotation zone. So there's not much. I'd be surprised if this doesn't come back down over the next little bit, back to test this 38.45 level long term. Any pop on this would be another rollover play for selling. Again, I can't get really, even if it got above the daily rotation zone, even above there, I just watched for a play in the weekly rotation zone. There's nothing bullish on that chart for me. J&J earnings. Yep, J&J. Does somebody have it? I did not see it this morning. I know they released it. It is down slightly. Could somebody post this? I was watching this sloppy head and shoulders pattern because longer term, I'm still watching for it to hold this area. If it breaks below that, then I'm watching. Then I'll start going off the slightly bigger pullback down to the bottom of the weekly rotation zone and the final target here for a potential long play again. Does somebody have those earnings numbers and I can look back in on it? ISRG. Here you go, Sashi. ISRG. Boy, these are just... it's just caught in consolidation. Really, let me take some of this off. I mean, in short term, longer term, you're still against the weekly rotation zone. You still have this flag pattern unfolding. So you had consolidation breakdown. Now it's consolidating in a flag pattern. Like on any pops, I'd just be looking for, again, sell plays in ISRG. I know it's in medical, which, you know, is healthcare, but this is not a strong one. This is not one I'd be this would not be my pick in healthcare to be long at this point. Consolidation, breakdown, new flag pattern. I mean, it could stay in this flag pattern for a while, but it would just be short-term trading around there against this key support level at about 276.50. If you start then breaking below about 268, if you want to be a little more conservative, 265, I'd then eventually watch for a return to this. First of all, there's your harmonics. Second off, so once this starts breaking down from the flag play, I'd be watching 236 to 239, then your 200 and 225, your 200 SMA and 225, then longer term, you'd be at 193.48. What would it, the only thing that invalidates that is if you start getting a close back above about 310, 309. URA. Again, I'm long-term bullish, watching for a little pullback. My next pullback level now is 26.22 for a little pullback in uranium. You can actually go about 26.46 to 26.22. Cycles rolling over. Again, long-term bullish, short-term watching for the pullback. Got to this harmonic, between the harmonic and the 12.5, and now watching for a little pullback. You have a lot of significant support down here. So this would be, you know, trading around a core position 2. We had some topping up here, unload a bit, reload a bit down here. MCK. Again, I have to then get into the open. I'm just watching for a pullback in MCK potentially. We don't have the double top triggered yet, and that would just be a short-term move back to the weekly rotation zone. So nothing's changed with that. Still, that double top is in play. And finally, coin. Short-term potential bottom on a close above today's high, but that would just be a very short-term bounce play because you're against the daily and weekly rotation zones. So that's about it. Yesterday, I know you posted Sterling. You had the gap fill play before, and you do have also an aggressive buy above on the morning this morning. You have an aggressive buy above on a 4-hour closing basis above 146.85. But again, these are against the rotation zone, so this would just be a very short-term pop play. With that, thank you, Wavy. Thank you, Amit. Again, sorry for the camera things earlier. With that, I will talk to everyone later. Have a wonderful trading day. Bye.